إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه وبركاته عليه. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا والنساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كلام الله عز وجل وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم والشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. ثم أما بعد، ونسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يجعلنا من الذين يستمعون قولا فيتبعون أحسنا. اللهم آمين. From the distinguishing characteristics of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah is the following of the Sahaba. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, He has legislated that we take our deen, our fahm, our understanding, our practical application by way of Ashab al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is a legislation that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala has legislated. It is from the distinguishing characteristics of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah from Ahl al-Bid'ah wa Ahwa wa Ahl al-Zayr. These are the individuals, Ya Abdullah wa Amatullah, that they claim that follow the Quran was Sunnah, but their understanding is understanding upon their uqul, upon their intellect, upon the understanding of their intellect. As Umar Ibn Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he mentioned, إِيَّاكُمْ وَأَهْلُ الرَّأْيِ إِيَّاكُمْ وَأَهْلُ الرَّأْيِ فإنهم أعيتهم على حديث يحفظوها فقالوا بالرأي فضلوا وأضلوا. Where he said, Ya Abdullah wa Amatullah, be aware of the people of opinions. Be aware of the people of opinions, because they became tired of memorizing the hadith of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So they speak with their opinions. So they are astray and they lead others astray. So this methodology, Ya Abdullah wa Amatullah, is a methodology that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala has legislated in His book subhanahu wa ta'ala and in the Sunnah Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala explains in the Quran as relates to the wujub ittiba' salaf. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, He mentions in the Quran وَالسَّابِقُونَ الْأَوَّلُونَ مِنَ الْمُهَاجِرِينَ وَالْأَنصَارِ وَالَّذِينَ تَبَعُوهُم بِإِحْسَانٍ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُمْ وَرَضُوا عَنْهُ. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, He mentions in the Quran from the foremost, from the Muhajireen, yani those who migrated from Mecca to Al-Madinah, and the Ansar, those who were there in Medina helping the Muhajireen, and those who followed them in ihsan, those who followed them in ihsan and goodness. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala is pleased with them, and they are pleased with Him. Shaykh Rabi' ibn Hadi al-Madkhali, Hafidhahullah Ta'ala, he mentioned about this particular ayah, that those who follow in ihsan, يعني follow them عقيدة ومنهج والسلوك. يعني follow them in their aqeedah and their belief. Follow them in their methodology. Follow them in their akhlaq. Allah tabarak wa ta'ala, He's pleased with them. And He's pleased with those, and they are pleased with Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah tabarak wa ta'ala mentioned another ayah in the Quran as relates to the wujub ittiba' al-salaf. Allah tabarak wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran, وَمَنْ يَشَاقِقِ الرَّسُولَ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُ الْهُدَى وَيَتَّبِعْ غَيْرَ سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ نُوَلِّهِ مَا تَوَلَّى وَنُصْلِهِ جَهَنَّمَ وَسَاءَتْ مَصِيرًا. Allah tabarak wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran, whoever continues with the messenger as the guide has to be conveyed to him, it follows a way other than the way of the Sabil al-Mu'mineen. يعني follows a way other than the way of Ashab al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. نُوَلِّهِ مَا تَوَلَّى, we leave where he has turned to and cast him to the hellfire, what an evil destination. Know for a surety in this particular ayah, and the ulama Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, they explain that Allah tabarak wa ta'ala has put this wa'id al-shadid, this severe threat upon Anisa Abdullah wa rahmatullah, with those who turn away from following the way of the Sabil al-Mu'mineen, following the way of Ashab al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allah tabarak wa ta'ala will leave what they turn to and cast them to the hellfire, what an evil destination. Sheikh Nasir al-Din al-Albani, rahmatullahi alayhi rahmatul wasi'ah, he mentioned about this ayah. He said if Allah tabarak wa ta'ala wanted to, He could have said, وَمَنْ يَشَاقِقِ الرَّسُولَ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُ الْهُدَى نُوَلِّهِ مَا تَوَلَّى وَنُصْلِهِ جَهَنَّمَ وَسَاءَتْ مَصِيرًا. Whoever continues with the messenger and follows away, whoever continues with the messenger and follows away other than the way of the believers, we will even turn to and cast him to the hellfire. He took out, leaving out the way of the believers. Allah Azza wa Jalla could have taken out, leaving the way of the believers, Ashab al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But He put in that ayah, وَيَتَّبِعْ غَيْرَ السَّبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, but follow away other than the way of Sabil al-Mu'mineen, يعني Ashab al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we will leave her turn to and cast them to the hellfire with the evil destination. قال شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية رحمة الله عليه رحمة واسعة, he mentioned يا عبد الله ورحمة الله, لا عيب على من أظهر مذهب السلف وانتسب إليه واعتزل إليه, فيجب قبول ذلك منه باتفاقه, فإن مذهب السلف لا يكون إلا حقا. شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية رحمة الله عليه رحمة واسعة, he said there's no blame on the one who connects himself to the way of the Salaf, and he's proud upon that. واعتزل إليه, and he sticks to that. ويجب قبول ذلك باتفاقه, يعني but it's obligatory for you to accept that from him by ittifaq, by the consensus of the ulama of the Sunnah. فإن مذهب السلف, but very way of the Salaf is nothing but the truth. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he mentioned about our Salaf al-Salih, رضوان الله عليهم أجمعين. He sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he mentioned the hadith that is well known to us. خير الناس قرني ثم الذين يلونهم ثم الذين يلونهم. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said that the best of generation is my generation, then those who follow them, then those who follow them. يعني the way of Ashab al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The way of Ashab al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is from the mouth of your Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And also we find in the hadith where he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, where he's upon his deathbed, and his daughter Fatima radiyallahu ta'ala anha was up beside him. And he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said to his daughter, Isbari, he said, be patient, O Fatima, I'm a blessed Salaf for you. I'm a blessed Salaf for you. So therefore, surety Abdullah wa rahmatullah, the way of Ashab al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, al-awwalan, the way of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and the way of Ashab al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is nothing but the truth. It is nothing but the way to the tariq al-Jannah. And any other way that deviates from the way of the aqaid and the manhaj and the suluk of Ashab al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is dalala. It is the way to the hellfire wa iyadha billah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us amongst those who follow the way of the Salaf. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين كالمبتدع والمشركين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد ولي الصالحين ورب الطيبين وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تمسك بسنته إلى يوم الدين ثم أما بعد. Know for a surety, Ya Abdullah wa Amatullah, that following the way of the Salaf, that the methodology of the Salaf al-Salih is not enough methodology of ra'i, of opinions, but a da'wah salafiyya, mabniyatun ala qawa'id al-usul. That our da'wah, this blessed da'wah, is a da'wah of legislation. It is established upon principles, fundamental principles, that is extracted from the book of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, and that is extracted from the Sunnah Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And from those principles that our blessed da'wah is established upon, that what distinguishes us from Ahl Bid'ah wa Ahwa wa Ahl Zayd, and what distinguishes us from Ahl Shirk, the people of Shirk, what distinguishes us from the Mumayyi'un, those who water down the principles of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. That the da'wah Salafiyya, that is established upon Thalathatu Usul, that is established upon three fundamental principles, Ya Abdullah wa Amatullah. Al-awwalan, al-ikhlas wa ibadullah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is established upon ikhlas. Know the way of the Sunni Salafi. Any da'i, that they begin their da'wah with a da'wah of ikhlas, calling to a tawheed. As it was the way of the Anbiya and the Rusul, as it was the way of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as the way of the Sahaba ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in. As Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, He mentions in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا أَنْ يَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَاجْتَنِبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ. Where I sent to every ummah a messenger proclaiming to worship Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala and to avoid the Taghut. So this first principle, Ya Abdullah wa Amatullah, it frees Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah from Shirk. It frees Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah from Ahl Bid'ah, from amongst the Sufiyun, and from amongst the Jama'at al-Tabligh, those who worship the graves of the awliya, those who worship the graves of the saints. This first principle, al-ikhlas, يعني sincerity to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And that Sheikh Muqbil ibn Hadi al-Wadi'i, rahmatullahi alayhi rahmatul wasi'ah, he mentioned that ikhlas asl al-ibadah, that ikhlas asl al-ibadah, that having sincerity, it is the origin, it is the foundation of one's worship. It's the foundation of one's worship, Ya Abdullah wa Amatullah. الثانية, and the second principle of related to the methodology of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah is luzum al-Jama'ah. يعني sticking to the Jama'ah, يعني sticking to the Amir al-Mu'mineen, was-Simi' wal-Ta'ah. يعني this from the methodology of the Khawarij, those who make khuruj al-Hukam, wa Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. We are those who obey the Amir in the obedience to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, لا طاعة فيما خلق في معصية، لا طاعة لما خلق في معصية الخالق. There is no obedience to the created being when it tells us obedience to the Creator. So we obey the Amir in the ma'ruf, and that which is good. That was in agreement with the book of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, and that was in agreement with the Sunnah Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. عدم الخروج, but we do not make khuruj على الحكام like the way of those of the Khawarij, like the way of those of ISIS in our day and time, with their methodology of the Khawarij of their forefathers. Their salaf of dalalah, their salaf of falsehood. So this principle of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah frees us from those in the Qutbiyun, and the Sururiyun, and Mahmud Haddad. It frees us from these individuals, Ya Abdullah wa Amatullah, just by this principle. Making khuruj al-hukam. الثالثة, the third principle, Ya Abdullah, is related to Ahl Sunnah, is hadr al-bid'ah والمبتدعين. يعني warning against innovation, warning against innovation and the mubtadi'. Nabiyyina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as Sheikh Muhammad al-Anjali, he mentioned that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he was warning against innovation before innovation came into existence. He was warning against innovation before it became prolific. He sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he was warning against innovation when he was doing marriage sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He was warning against innovation during Jumu'ah. He was warning against innovation during the Eid. He sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he was warning against innovation before the innovation came upon the land. This shows the importance of Abdullah wa Amatullah, Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, warning against innovation, warning against the people of innovation. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, كُلُّ بِدْعَةٍ ضَلَالَةٍ وَكُلُّ ضَلَالَةٍ فِي النَّارِ. That every innovation is stray, and every stray leads to the hellfire. So therefore, short that innovation, that it leads to the hellfire. It leads to the hellfire. And also, Ya Abdullah, this frees us from the Mumayyi'un, those who water down their principles of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, that don't want to warn against Ahl Bid'ah wa Ahwa wa Ahl Zayd, But when I'm mixed with the people of innovation, and blend with the people of innovation, where there's no tamyiz, there's no distinction from the Sunni and the Bid'i. Imam Ahmed rahmatullahi alayhi rahmatul wasi'ah. He was questioning Abdullah wa rahmatullah. He was questioning رجل يصوم ويصلي ويعتكف أحب إليك أو يتكلم في أهل البدع. He was asking Abdullah wa rahmatullah that a man, he fasts and he prays, he makes i'tikaf, is more beloved to you, to speak against أهل البدع, the people of innovation. فقال إذا صاموا واعتكفوا فإنما هو لنفسهم وإذا تكلم في أهل البدع فإنما هو للمسلمين. هذا أفضل. Imam Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, Imam Ahmed bin Hanbal rahmatullahi alayhi rahmatul wasi'ah, he said if the man, if he prays, if he fasts or he makes i'tikaf, this is for himself. But if he speaks against the people of innovation, he speaks against Ahlul Bid'ah wa Ahwa wa Ahlul Zayd, this is for the Muslimin. This is for the general folk, for the Muslimin. It is safeguards them, Ya Abdullah wa Rahmatullah. And this is afdal. And this is better, Ya Abdullah. To speak against people of innovation. This is Ahlul Bid'ah wa Ahwa wa Ahlul Zayd. This is from the methodology of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. And this will distinguish us from Ahlul Bid'ah wa Ahwa wa Ahlul Zayd. هذا ما عندي وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وأقيموا الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.